Welcome to Everything Mental Health with your hosts, Chris Weeks and Maureen Edwards.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Maureen. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good.
And just before we came on to this podcast, we were talking about stress. And I thought that might be a really good subject to dive into.
Okay. What is stress to you?
I think if I think about stress in a very broad sense, it can be good stress, it could be negative stress. Good stress is called eustress, and not good stress or negative stress is called distress. So I don't think I think maybe we painted stress as a negative thing, but some forms of stress are positive.
What forms of stress would you say are positive?
I think tension or maybe even resistance, and we can think of that as the phenomenon when you're weightlifting or when you're exercising. You're putting your body in a state where it might be at a state of resistance. It might be going right to your edge, where you are maybe lifting a weight that is, your maximum. And there's this place inside the muscle where it's like, yeah, this is as far as I can go. This is my edge. But in riding the edge, it's increasing the capacity to withstand uncomfortable situations, whether it be in the body, whether it be emotionally, whether it be thought forms or relationships. It's kind of across the board. So that going on that edge can help us expand our ability to withstand uncomfortable situations.
Nice. I like that. What came to mind actually was the way that bonsai trees are grown. They're stressed to some degree, sort of in terms of the limitations that are put on them, but then that allows for this development and flourishing sort of thing, the slow process of flourishing from there, where then you get these wonderful they appear so wonderfully in terms of their shape or their form also.
Yes.
So that's I guess a positive way of looking at stress. What would you say are some of the signs of the negative stress then, or how would you look at the negative stress?
I think maybe negative stress is when there's an overwhelm. There's too much of something that the mind or the body cannot tolerate, and it becomes a negative force or a negative tension. The body can't seem to regulate it, or it's just too overwhelming. And that might be sound or sensory stuff. A lot of people can get quite overwhelmed or stressed out if they're in an environment which is loud, which is busy. Maybe it's a mall, where they're walking through a mall and they're just bombarded by sights and sounds and people and smells, and it's too much for the nervous system. and they can get stressed out.
Right. So what comes to mind there is that window of tolerance, then, where we have, each of us has a sort of, I suppose, a different area of tolerance in terms of then becoming stressed. So depending on what's happening in a person's life, that window of tolerance can either be small, or it could be opened a little bit further. The image that comes to mind also is a river, where depending on how wide apart the banks of that river are, or how close together the banks of that river are, you may see when it's wider, there's a smoother flow taking place. When they're a little more, when they're closer together, the speed of the water goes a little bit faster. And so the opening up or closing of a window of tolerance is I would imagine, is similar to that, where depending on what's going on, the window of tolerance is closed a little bit more, and a person can't handle as much.